I want to start today by saying something that I mean with everything in me. What you are going through right now is real. The pain is real. The weight is real. The confusion is real. The exhaustion of trying to stay hopeful when everything hurts is real. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. I'm not going to jump straight to the answers. I'm not going to tell you to just trust God and everything will be fine, because sometimes things are not fine. And somebody needs to be honest about that. So before anything else, I just want to sit with you here for a moment, in the pain, in the questions, in the place that doesn't make sense yet. You don't have to perform hope right now. You don't have to pretend you're okay. You don't have to have it all together. Just be here. And let me tell you what I've come to know about pain and about the God who meets us there. There is something about deep pain that isolates a person. It builds walls around you without asking permission. Suddenly the world keeps moving and you are standing still. People around you laugh and make plans, and you wonder how they don't feel what you feel. You smile when you need to. You answer, "I'm fine," when someone asks. But inside, something is broken, and the hardest part is not knowing if it will ever stop hurting. Maybe that's where you are today. Maybe you're carrying a pain that has no name, or maybe it has a very specific name, and that name alone is enough to bring tears. The loss of someone you loved, the end of something you believed in, a diagnosis that changed everything, a betrayal that shattered your trust, a dream that died before it had the chance to live, a version of your life that will never be what you imagined. Whatever it is, you are not alone in it. And more than that, God is not absent from it. I want to tell you about a woman in the Bible. Her name was Naomi. Naomi had a husband. She had 2 sons. She had a home, a family, a future. And then in the span of a few years, she lost all of it. Her husband died. Both of her sons died. She was left alone in a foreign land with nothing but grief and 2 daughters-in-law. And Naomi was honest about her pain in a way that I find remarkable. When she decided to return home, the people of her town came out to greet her. They said, "Naomi, is that you?" And she said something that broke my heart the first time I read it. She said, "Don't call me Naomi anymore. Call me Mara, because Naomi means pleasant, and Mara means bitter." She said, "I went away full, and the Lord has brought me back empty. I went away full, and I came back empty." Have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt like life took something from you, something precious, something irreplaceable, and left you standing there with nothing but the absence of what used to be? Naomi felt that. She didn't pretend. She didn't put on a brave face. She looked at her pain directly, and she named it. "I am bitter. I went away full and I came back empty." And God didn't punish her for that honesty. He didn't withdraw from her because she was bitter. He stayed. He was already working in the very moment she felt most empty. Because here is what Naomi didn't know in that moment of grief. She didn't know that the daughter-in-law walking beside her, a young woman named Ruth, who refused to leave her side, was going to change everything. She didn't know that Ruth would meet a man named Boaz. She didn't know that from that union would come a lineage that would eventually bring King David, and from King David, Jesus. Naomi thought she came back empty, but God was writing a story through her pain that would change the entire history of the world. She couldn't see it in that moment, but it was already happening. And I want you to hear this for your own life. The pain you're in right now does not have the final word. God is already writing something through it, something you cannot see yet, something that will only make sense later, something that is bigger than the chapter you are currently in. Your story is not over, not even close. Now I want to be careful here, because I know that when you're in the middle of pain, sometimes the last thing you want to hear is, God has a plan. Everything happens for a reason. Just wait and see. And I understand that, because pain is not a puzzle to be solved. Pain is not a lesson to be learned quickly and moved past. Pain is something to be walked through slowly, honestly, with someone beside you, and that someone is God Himself. So what do you do when you're in the middle of the pain, when hope feels distant and the hurt feels very close? First, let yourself grieve. Give yourself permission to feel what you feel without judgment, without rushing to get to the other side, without pretending to be stronger than you are. God is not uncomfortable with your tears. Jesus wept, the shortest verse in the Bible, and one of the most important. Jesus wept. He stood at the tomb of his friend Lazarus, and he wept, even though he knew what was about to happen, even though he knew the resurrection was coming. He still wept with those who were weeping, and he weeps with you too, in your pain, in your grief, in your unanswered questions. He is not rushing you. He is not telling you to feel better faster. He is weeping with you, and that is one of the most beautiful things I know about God. Second, tell Him exactly how you feel, not the polished version, not the version you think He wants to hear, the real version. God can handle your anger. God can handle your confusion. God can handle your why. God can handle your "this isn't fair." God can handle your "I don't understand any of this." He handled all of that from David in the Psalms. He handled it from Job. He handled it from Jeremiah. He handled it from Jesus on the cross. And He will handle it from you, because honesty with God is not a lack of faith. It is faith. It is saying, I trust you enough to tell you the truth. I believe you are big enough to hold this. I know you are close enough to hear me. Tell Him everything. He already knows. But there is something powerful about saying it out loud to the one who loves you most. And third, look for the small signs of His presence, not the dramatic ones necessarily. The small ones. The friend who called at exactly the right moment. The song that came on when you needed it most. The unexpected peace that settled over you for no reason you could explain. The morning that came after the night you didn't think you'd survive. Those are not coincidences. Those are whispers. God whispering into your pain. I am here. I see you. I have not left. I am working even now. Romans 8 verse 28 says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. All things. Not some things. Not the easy things. Not the things that make sense. All things. Including this. Including the pain you're in right now. Including the thing you would never have chosen. Including the chapter of your life that feels like it has no redemption. God is working in all of it for your good. Not to punish you, not to break you beyond repair, but to bring something through you and from you that only this kind of pain could produce. A depth, a compassion, a faith that has been tested in fire and found true. A story that will one day reach someone else in their darkest moment and give them the hope to keep going. Your pain is not wasted, not one tear, not one sleepless night, not one moment of it. God collects everyone, Psalm 56 verse 8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book, every tear, collected, counted, kept, by a God who sees you, who loves you, who has not abandoned you in this." There is hope even here, even in this pain, even in this darkness, even in this place that feels most hopeless. Hope is not gone. It is just quieter than the pain right now, but it is there, and so is He, right beside you, closer than your next breath, holding you even when you cannot feel His hands, whispering into the pain, "I am here, I love you, and I am not finished with your story. Hold on, there is hope even here." Before you go, I want you to know something. This channel exists for one reason only, not for views, not for numbers, not for anything the world measures. It exists for you, for the ones who are tired, for the ones who are searching, for the ones who just needed someone to sit with them in the quiet. God's whisper is that place every single day. A new message will be waiting for you here. A prayer for the hard moments, a story for the lost ones, a word of hope for the ones who almost gave up. You don't have to face tomorrow alone. Come back tomorrow. There will be something here just for you, because you matter, and God has not finished speaking to your heart. See you tomorrow.